So I just saw Everything Everywhere All at Once, from the directors of Swiss Army Man. You know, the movie where Daniel Radcliffe's dead body gets used by Paul Dano as a tool.
People don't like other people's farts.
This is their second film being made together, with Swiss Army Man being the first, and other than a few music videos, I don't think they did anything else. Well, one of the directors made The Death of Dick Long, which is a title that's being begged to be made fun of.
The fuck's murder?
This movie follows Michelle Yeoh and her family, basically. They run a laundromat, and due to some hijinks ensue, some sci-fi hijinks ensue, they get into some multiverse craziness. And that's the best way I can describe the plot of this movie without giving anything away. Because yeah, I think the best way to watch this movie is to go in extremely cold and know very little about it. Because this movie is full of major surprises at every turn. From the first 10 minutes, I already know I was gonna love this movie. The extremely fast-paced and well-executed direction of every single scene. And mind you, the first 10 minutes are the most normal part of the film, where absolutely nothing is happening, but you know a lot is going on. I wouldn't say this movie is like a Marvel movie or a superhero movie, because I think some of the directions in those kind of movies are kind of flat and boring. The direction of this movie has this high-paced momentum that I can only compare to an Edgar Wright movie, where everything is very fast-paced and you know exactly what's happening in it every time. And the fast-paced momentum isn't just a stylistic choice, although that is part of it. The fast-paced momentum is used to showcase the craziness and high concept of the multiverse, really. Evelyn, Michelle Yeoh's character, is getting slowly introduced to the multiverse, and by slowly I mean extremely fast. Everything in this movie is extremely fast, and like a normal person, she freaks out and doesn't know what to do at first, because yes, just like the audience, we're getting into this multiverse craziness just suddenly. Guess I'll talk about her first. Michelle Yeoh. She is excellent. She is a true legend. From being in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, to Crazy Rich Asians, to many other things, especially Shang Chi from last year. She hasn't been really doing anything kung fu related for years, other than Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, or Shang Chi, I guess. And no, Kung Fu Panda 2 doesn't count because she didn't do kung fu in that. Oops.
Being right makes me right.
Then I will kill him and make you wrong.
A big time zero, I'm sorry! You stop that!
In this, she gives a pretty great performance that I think the Oscars will ignore, because this is a very weird movie. Just like every other actor in this movie, they have to play multiple characters without getting into details, because this is a multiverse movie. But this is probably my favorite Michelle Yeoh performance ever. She acts very confused and scared, and she reacts very normally to the situations that's happening in the entire film. Like, yeah, you're you, or you're her in this situation. And that's one point I'll give this movie. The fact that it's following a normal person, or a seemingly normal person in this situation, gives a lot of relatability to the situation when she's like reacting to everything very, very frantically, like any normal person would. The highlight performance though, and probably a highlight for everybody else, is Ki-hee Kwan as the husband of Michelle Yeoh, or Evelyn, the main character. He gives quite the dynamic performance, having to be a badass person, while at the same time having to be a admittingly adorable person. I know we're talking about a 40-year-old man, but he is, at points, he's just downright adorable, and I just want to pinch his cheeks. And quick fact, Ki-hee Kwan was a child actor who debuted in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull as Short Round.
Oh, another kind of girl! Hey, Dr. Joe, no time for love! We got company!
And he even appeared in The Goonies as a character. I haven't seen The Goonies, by the way. Yeah, look out for this guy. Give this guy a bunch of job roles, because he is truly great. I kinda miss him. He was adorable in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. No, not Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Temple of Doom, Temple of Doom. Another highlight is Jamie Lee Curtis. I thought she was just gonna be a side character that was just gonna be an annoying, like, middle-aged person, or middle-aged Karen type person. But she has a lot of things to do in the movie, actually. She's actually a big part of it. Even newcomer Stephanie Hsu, who I haven't seen in anything really. I think she's in Marvel Marvelous Miss Maisel, but I haven't seen that. But she's pretty great in this, and she's probably one of the big hearts in it. You'll know what I'm talking about. Yeah, the only time I've seen her was in Shang Chi as the side friend of Shang-Chi. But in this, she's very dynamic, and yeah, I hope this movie gives her a lot of roles because she is truly great in this. Overall, great performances from everyone. Not only are they great as their normal characters, but they're great at playing other characters when they get into the other universes. There's a lot of dynamic changes throughout the entire movie, and you're able to follow it because all of the stories make sense, and all of them in their own right are very engaging. Even some of the weirdest universes are pretty compelling, like surprisingly. Like the stories happening in those universes are pretty compelling. No matter how weird the universe is, yes, that's good to note because yeah, some of the universes get extremely weird without giving away what the universes are. And I even like the fact that each of the universes are filmed as if they're different kinds of movies. Like some of them are different aspect ratios, some of them have different effects added to them. And that's one thing too that I'll add. This movie has a nice blend of practical and CGI effects that blend in very well. And if you want to know how weird this movie gets, you just have to wait and find out, but they use other creatures sometimes, and you'll know what I'm talking about when you see the movie. And the stories being told are very well mixed in with the extremely great action added. And yes, I kind of forgot to talk about this, but yeah, the action is extremely great. Some of the most well choreographed and strangest action scenes I've ever seen. It's kind of like B-movie action, but it completely works within this movie. And yeah, I'm saying this movie is very weird, but that's kind of a given because that's kind of the point that the movie is trying to make. You're seeing all these different universes, and when you first see them, you're like, oh my god, that's very weird. But in other contexts, those universes are extremely normal to the other people that are living inside them. That's kind of a nice way of breaking down how other people feel about other cultures or societies. It might be weird to some other people, but to the people that are living in that culture/society, it's completely normal. The fact that we're following a Chinese family, most of which are immigrants, really further exemplifies this point. Their culture and way of living might be strange to other people, but for them, that's just their normal way of living. And the daughter being gay further pushes this point. She's not able to fully come out to her grandfather because the grandfather might not accept her because he lives in a different generation, or so the mom says.
Yes?
What are you doing here?
What am I doing? Getting a backache. Did you have to step on every rock?
Asian cultures are not really warm when it comes to accepting gay relationships and everything. So that kind of furthers the point. The point that different ideologies and different points of views really need to be widely accepted to most people, no matter how weird or odd the thing seems to be. That really does seem to be the message of this movie. The acceptance of weirdness. And also the acceptance of what you have in your life. The fact that your life isn't 100% completely perfect, and that's completely fine, is one of the main points of the film. Because yeah, we all dream to be like superheroes, or like country singers, or a famous TikToker. But in retrospect, and this is one of the best points that the movie makes, is that maybe in those lives, those versions of you are miserable in their own way. And that's one of the most perfect perspectives that this movie could offer the audience. Your life isn't perfect, but hey, whose life is completely perfect? I think that's the message that I got from this movie, and it's pretty great. Overall, I 100% loved this movie. This might be my favorite movie of the year. No, scratch that. This is my favorite movie of the year. I don't think anything else can beat it. I don't think Sonic the Hedgehog is gonna beat it. I'm sorry, Sonic. It's highly ambitious, it's extremely creative, it's extremely funny. There's a lot of great moments of levity in the movie, and that's the thing. This movie doesn't take itself 100% seriously. It's kind of like a Marvel movie in that way, but with a lot more mature and darker humor and much more darker themes. Like it starts off really humorous at first, and then as the movie goes on, it gets more deeper, and yeah, I ended up crying a few times during the end of it. I really loved it. Yeah, this is 100% perfect. And for that, I would have to give this movie a 10 out of 10. This is the first 10 and probably the last 10 I'll give this year, because yeah, this movie is just that good. Definitely do not miss this movie. Watch this after Sonic if you can. Okay, bye.